Okay, so hey everyone. So I guess this video is gonna be about like my experience getting my nose pierced, what that was like, and just like my journey in general. I got my nose pierced 2 years ago. It was August, like before I went back to school. I got it pierced in Harlem. Just like if you're from Harlem, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's on 125th. There's like all these different like tattoo shops and piercing shops that you can go to. So I just got it pierced by one of those people, and I had always wanted it. And so at that time I was 19, so it was like I could finally just get it if I wanted to. So I decided to just get it. And so on my nose, it's right here. I've always liked piercings where it's like right where it's like in the crease. But that didn't look right on me apparently, according to the piercer. And it was just a bad spot. Like the whole ring would go inside my piercing, so I would look and I would see nothing but a hole, and it was very painful. Yeah, so I had to go back, and then that's where I got it pierced in this spot, and it was just fine. And then it was painful, but I feel like I've gotten it re-pierced so many times that I can't even really tell you if it's gonna be really bad or not. It's okay. The first time I did it, I was like holding my friend's hand, and the second time I wasn't, and it was much worse. So I recommend going with someone. Like, it does make a difference if you like squeeze their hands or whatever. So yeah, so they put the corkscrew piercing in, and so a corkscrew is very hard to take out, and I had wanted something to take in and out, so I got a straight piercing when I went to Madrid. So I lived in Madrid for like 3 to 4 months. I studied abroad there, and I got this like really cheap piercing. And it's like, since I break out from like fake jewelry or like just jewelry in general, I like started it. Basically I got an infection from the ring, so I had to take it out, let it close, let the infection go away, and then I had to re-pierce it, which it just blew my because I don't know, I just didn't want to get it re-pierced, and I was in like a different country, and so Madrid is in Spain, like for those of you who don't know. And so yeah, so I'll just tell you my story of getting it re-pierced. It was quite the experience. So I get to the place, right, to like pierce my nose, and so I go in, and they also do hair, and they do tattoos obviously. And I noticed that a lot of the hairstyles that they have that they're practicing are like braids, like cornrows, and like single braids, right? And so Spain, whatever, they do dreadlocks on white people, and I just feel like at that point I should have just left. So I go, I tell them what I need. So I go upstairs, and he's like, oh, like he's talking to me really slow in Spanish, because he's like just assuming that if you're black you just don't know Spanish. So I'm telling him where I want it, and I'm like, tenía una aquí antes, blah blah. I'm telling him that I had one before, and I want it in the same exact spot. And he's like, wow, like your Spanish is really good, like are you from France? And so we're still talking in Spanish at this point. So I'm like, no. I mean, that's their favorite thing to do. Like, first of all, there are black people that are Spanish. Okay, I understand my accent's not all that, so you're not gonna assume I'm from Spain, but there are black people that are from Spain, and then it's like they're just black people from around the world. But I feel like if they think that you're like this presentable, like respectability, like politic, like, you know what I mean, like black person, then they will assume, oh, you're from France. And then if not, they will assume that you're like a migrant from Western Africa or Northern Africa. So then we get into the whole, oh, I'm from like New York, I'm Caribeña, blah blah. And he's like, oh cool. So then we start speaking English because he like wants to practice his English. So now he's telling me about how he loves Nas and like Illmatic and all this stuff because I'm black, and he just wants to relate, and I'm like, whatever. So now he's getting the needle out, and I'm getting anxious again. Yeah, and so he's getting the needle out, and he's like, I love hip-hop. And so then as soon as he puts the needle in, he's like, yeah, my so it's just like, so when I have the shock of getting my nose pierced, right, and so just as he puts the needle in, and then I also have the shock of him literally sitting here and saying the N-word, and it was ER, it wasn't like A, you know. And it was just like, I feel like that word is something that needs to be like fleshed out and discussed like in the black community, whether or not, because people feel like no one should say it. People feel like, oh, if it would have been used against you, then you can say it to like redirect the meaning. And it's just really interesting because I feel like nowadays we're in this academic where like everyone just wants to say it, and I just need people to understand that it's just very triggering for some people. Like I meet black people and they're like, please don't call me that, or don't say that around me, and I'm like, cool. Then it's like I meet like a person that's white and I tell them like, please don't like call me that, like don't use that, and they're like, why? Oh, I should say whatever I want. And it's like that right there is what I'm talking about. So it's kind of like this entitlement that people have to like your culture, or like what you're deciding is your culture, or what you're deciding to repurpose. I just feel like it was a crazy story to tell, and it has like some social significance that I feel like is important. And yeah, getting your nose pierced is not that serious. Like don't be scared, it's not a big deal. If you want to do it, then you should just do it. Like I love it. Like I wouldn't want to take it out ever. That's really it. Yeah.